Hi, my name's Orion. I'm a kid, just like you.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're examining the conclusion of Netflix's animated fantasy film, Orion and the Dark. If you've yet to see the movie, this video contains something much scarier than the absence of light. Spoilers.
Is this your latest attempt at trying to convince the world that you're not so bad?
From a screenplay by that Charlie Kaufman and based on the children's book of the same name, Orion and the Dark tells the tale of how an 11-year-old boy overcame his many, and we mean many, fears. You see, young Orion's long list of irrational fears includes bees, tormentors, dogs, falling off skyscrapers, locker rooms, public speaking, and the ever-dreaded murderous gutter clown.
Murderous gutter clowns are high on my list.
The overly anxious child is even fearful of talking to his classmate crush Sally, who has invited him to sit next to her on the upcoming school trip to the planetarium.
To be frank, I've never wanted anything more. But to do that, I'd have to be able to not constantly obsess over every negative thing that could possibly happen.
Oh, that's my mom. I gotta go.
But the thing Orion fears the most is the dark. And so, one fateful night, the physical embodiment of his nightmare, the literal dark, pays him a visit to prove that he isn't so bad.
Hello, I'm Dark. Ta-da!
Through some clever coaxing, Dark convinces Orion to join him on a magical journey so he can face his fears once and for all.
Okay, I'll go! Mr. Dark?
I knew you'd come around.
It's then that we're introduced to the other night entities, each with a specific role to play in maintaining the balance of the night. They include sleep, quiet, unexpected noises, sweet dreams, and insomnia.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm getting fired. Huh?
Unfortunately, Orion's ongoing fears hinder their nightly duties. Despite this, however, the boy and his dark begin to form a genuine bond.
I'm not scared of you.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
Unfortunately, the bond quickly shows cracks as Orion lets the other entities know that he actually prefers light over dark, as it makes him feel safe and warm.
He makes me feel safe, like I'm wrapped in a warm blanket.
It's not long after this inadvertent confession that the entire night crew decides to stop working at nighttime altogether. In a desire to embrace the light, they abandon Dark, leaving him on his own. This leads a dejected Dark to give up. As light approaches, bringing about a new day, Dark doesn't move out of the way, despite the desperate pleas from Orion. By letting the light wash over him, Dark vanishes, seemingly marking the end of Orion's story.
No, Dark! Dark!
However, that ending is short-lived. That's because we have since learned that this tale about young Orion facing his fears is actually being told by an adult Orion to his daughter Hypatia in an effort to help her with her own fears.
You're telling me a story about how you overcame your fear of the dark to try and help me overcome my fear of the dark.
Hypatia isn't shy about letting her dad know that she doesn't like this ending. In fact, she has ideas of her own.
Oh, yeah? Let's hear it.
Really? Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Inserting herself into the story, Hypatia uses a poem to show young Orion the chaos that occurs when there's nothing but light in the world.
Maybe the world has become too bright. Too loud, too selfish, and ready to fight.
To bring Dark back, Hypatia and Sweet Dreams enter the subconscious of Orion. While they are able to successfully summon him, a black hole attempts to consume everything. It's then that Orion conquers all his fears by ultimately saving Dark from an unknown fate.
Hang on, Dark! I'm coming!
Once out of the dream, Dark returns to do his work, restoring much-needed order to the world in the process. After a tearful goodbye between Orion and Dark, it's then time for Hypatia to find her way back to the future. This comes in the unexpected form of a boy in a time machine, Tico.
I'm Tico. I came to help. I have my time machine out on your lawn. I can take you home.
The young time traveler returns Hypatia to her home, where adult Orion greets her with open arms. The two embrace as Tico destroys a pesky interdimensional time monster in Hypatia's bedroom. Which brings us to the movie's ending, and yet another jump to the future. This time, however, it's revealed that the story is being told by an adult Hypatia to her young son. And, you guessed it, his name is Tico. Naturally, it was Tico who added the time-traveling element to the bedtime story.
Thank you for figuring it out. I was stuck.
When Hypatia leaves her son to sleep with the door closed, we see a series of framed photos leading down the home staircase. It's essentially a timeline of events showing Hypatia growing up, from having braces to graduating high school to moving out. The last photo shows her with a baby of her own. As she steps outside to the porch, we find an elderly Orion reading among the stars.
Hey, Dad.
He asleep?
Almost.
What's more, it's revealed that he's not alone. Yep, Hypatia's mom, Orion's wife, is also there.
Good night, Mom.
Good night, Hypatia.
But who is this woman? While never mentioned by name, the reveal clearly shows it to be an elderly Sally, Orion's school crush. If you'll recall, before his adventures with Dark, young Orion was asked by a young Sally if he wanted to sit next to her on the trip to the planetarium. Orion was not only too scared to respond, but was too afraid to attend the school trip, going so far as to hide his permission slip from his parents.
Your father found it stuffed under the couch.
I think you mean in between the couch cushions?
The final moments of the film take us back in time to the school planetarium trip, where we see young Orion and Sally sitting next to one another as they look up at the stars, much the same way elderly Orion and Sally do on the porch. The planetarium, of course, has special meaning in the story. This is the place where Orion grew most comfortable and would eventually work. We see him take young Hypatia there and pass on various ideals.
We're looking at a ceiling.
It's a really good illusion, though, and highly educational.
It's also no coincidence that their names are linked to astrology. Yep, the planetarium became a fitting spot for Orion, one that always reminded him of the world's beauty. Whether Orion's magical adventure with Dark was real, in part or whole, the filmmakers leave it up to us to decide. The desired outcome of the journey was definitely achieved. The young boy had taken the steps needed to live a life free of debilitating fear.
Am I okay in the future?
Yeah, you're doing good.
So I don't have to worry so much is what you're saying?
I guess that's what I'm saying.
And because of that, he went on to marry his school crush, have a child with her, and grow old as a grandfather. The best part, however, is that he was finally able to fully embrace the beauty of the dark.
I thought I would just enjoy the night for a bit.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Orion and the Dark's ending shows how anxiety and fears are universal themes, spanning all generations. It lets us know that fear is a natural part of life.
Fear of the dark is an evolutionary adaptation that people develop to protect themselves from nocturnal predators.
However, one doesn't need to walk through it alone. While it's up to each individual to conquer their anxieties, family and friends will always be there to help, whether they succeed or not. Have you seen Orion and the Dark? What did you make of the film's ending? Don't be afraid to share your thoughts in the comments below.
Is it too much stuff? Like, you're already traveling around the world with magical night entities, and now you can predict the future too?
Gilding the lily.
I don't know what that means.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.